I am 63 years old. I live alone. One bedroom, one plate in the sink, one chair at the table. I used to have a 4-bedroom house, a wife who loved me, 2 kids who thought I was a hero. You want to know what happened? I'll tell you exactly what happened. My wife called me on a Tuesday, regular Tuesday, nothing special. She said, "Can you please come home by 6 tonight? I need you here." I looked at the clock. I looked at my calendar. There was a meeting at 5:30, senior leadership, the kind of room you don't get invited to twice. I told her I'd try. I didn't try. I stayed. I impressed the right people. I got the promotion 3 weeks later. She got a lawyer 4 weeks later, and here I sit, 63, a title nobody remembers, an apartment that echoes. I chose the conference room over my kitchen table, and that is a trade you cannot reverse. Let me tell you how the trap works, because it is a trap, engineered, deliberate, and they have been running it on men like you for decades. The company tells you that you are important. They give you a lanyard, a title, a parking spot 3 rows closer to the building. They say things like, "We're a family here." They put your name on a plaque in the lobby, and you believe it. You believe it because you need to. Because if the sacrifice isn't noble, then what have you been doing with your life? So you stay late. You answer the email at 9 p.m. You miss the school play. You tell your wife, "This is for us. I'm doing this for us." But here's the thing they never tell you. You are not sacrificing for your family. You are sacrificing your family. There is a difference, and by the time you see it, the house is quiet and the locks have been changed. Companies know exactly what they are doing. They design the reward cycle to make you feel like you are almost there. One more quarter. One more project, one more late night, and then it all pays off. It never pays off. The finish line moves, it always moves. That is the design. They need you running. A man who stops running starts looking around, starts noticing his kid got taller, starts noticing his wife stopped asking him to come home, not because she stopped caring, because she gave up, and giving up is quiet. That is the dangerous part. She does not slam the door. She just stops opening it. The company does not care about your marriage. The company does not care about your son's baseball game. The company cares about the quarterly report. You are a line item, a head count, a resource. They call it human resources for a reason. You are the resource. They are the ones using it. And the day you leave retirement, layoff, heart attack in the parking lot, they will fill your desk by Thursday. They won't even move your coffee mug. Someone else will just push it aside and sit down. Your wife would have waited a lifetime for you. Your company won't wait a weekend. Remember that. I had a friend named Gerald. Good man, quiet man, the kind of man who ironed his shirts on Sunday night and never complained about Monday morning. 31 years at the same firm, never missed a quarterly review, never called in sick. Gerald believed in the system the way some men believe in God, completely, without question. His daughter Michelle was getting married, spring wedding, garden ceremony. She asked him to come to the rehearsal dinner the night before. Friday evening, simple request, just show up, be her father for one night. Gerald had a client meeting that Friday. Big account, the kind of deal that gets mentioned in the annual report. He told Michelle he would try. Sound familiar? He didn't go. He closed the deal. His boss shook his hand, told him he was the backbone of the department. Michelle didn't yell. She didn't cry on the phone. She just said, "Okay, Dad," 2 words, flat, like a door closing on a hinge that had been loose for years. She got married the next day. Gerald was there for the ceremony, sat in the front row, smiled for the photos, but something was off. He could feel it. The way you feel a crack in a wall before the whole thing comes down. She was polite to him, not warm, polite. And if you have ever been on the receiving end of your own child's politeness, that is worse than anger. Anger means they still care. Politeness means they have made their peace with who you are. Years passed. Gerald retired. They gave him a plaque, brass, his name engraved under the company logo. He put it on his mantel next to a photo of Michelle as a little girl. Michelle didn't invite him to Christmas that year or the year after. Gerald got sick the following spring. Lungs. It was fast. He was in the hospital for 11 days. I visited him 3 times. The room was cold, bare walls. There was one arrangement of flowers on the windowsill, a generic fruit basket wrapped in cellophane. The card said, "With sympathy from your friends at the firm." It was signed by a woman in HR. I asked Gerald if he knew her. He said he had never heard the name. He died on a Wednesday. I was there. Michelle was not. I drove home that night and sat in my car in the driveway for 40 minutes. Engine off, lights off, just sitting, because I realized something that made my chest hurt. I was Gerald. I just hadn't gotten the diagnosis yet. All right, enough stories, enough sadness. I did not come here to make you cry. I came here to make you move. Because right now, some of you are sitting in your cars in a parking garage, reading emails, staying an extra 30 minutes for a boss who does not know your wife's name, and you are telling yourself it matters. So here are 3 tests. I call them the only 3 tests a man ever needs to take. No studying, no preparation, just honesty, raw, ugly honesty. Test number 1, the funeral test. Close your eyes. You are dead. Tomorrow. Heart gives out in the kitchen. They put you in a box and they fill a room with chairs. Now look around that room. Who is sitting in those chairs? Is it your vice president, your regional manager, the guy from accounting who laughed at your joke in the break room? Or is it your son, your daughter, your wife, the people whose names you forgot to say out loud because you were too busy earning? If the people filling that room are wearing gray suits and lanyards instead of tears, you have built the wrong life. Period. Test number 2, the replacement test. If you quit your job tomorrow, how long before they replace you? 2 weeks, a month? They will post the listing before your email signature is cold. Now. If you walk out on your wife, how long before she replaces what you were supposed to be? A father at the dinner table, a voice in the dark when she cannot sleep, a hand on her back when the world gets heavy. That is irreplaceable, and you are trading it for a role that comes with a job description and an expiration date. Test number 3, the voicemail test. Pick up your phone right now. Scroll through your missed calls, your voicemails, your text messages. When is the last time someone you love called you just to hear your voice, not to coordinate, not to schedule, not to ask you to pick up milk, just to hear you? If you cannot remember, that is not their failure, that is yours. It means you have become a function, a provider, a logistic, not a person they miss. 3 tests, no score, no grade. Just a mirror. And if you looked into that mirror and felt something crack in your chest, then good. That crack is the lie breaking apart. That crack is the beginning. If you are trapped in this right now, if you are the man in the parking garage, the man missing the dinners, the man telling himself 1 more year, leave a comment, tell me, so I know I am not talking to an empty room. Let me tell you what rich actually means. Because they lied to you about that too. Rich is not the corner office. It is not the bonus check. It is not the house with the 3-car garage and the lawn service you hired because you are never home to mow it yourself. I had all of that, every piece. I had the leather chair, the nameplate on the door, the reserved parking spot. I had a watch that cost more than my father made in a month. I wore it to meetings where men nodded at me like I had finally arrived. Arrived where? An empty house, a fridge with takeout boxes, a bedroom so quiet you can hear the clock on the wall like a heartbeat that is not yours. That is where the ladder leads. Nobody tells you. You climb, and when you get to the top, you look down and realize everything you loved is at the bottom, and the ladder does not go back down. Real wealth is ordinary. That is why you miss it. It does not shine. It does not announce itself. There is no ceremony. It is a Tuesday night, regular Tuesday, nothing special. You walk in the door and the kitchen smells like garlic and onions. Your wife is standing at the stove. She does not even turn around. She just says, "Wash your hands, it's almost ready." Your kid is at the table, homework spread out, pencil in his mouth. He looks up at you and starts telling you some stupid story about a kid at school who tripped during gym class, and he is laughing so hard he cannot finish the sentence. That is the empire. Right there. That kitchen, that table, that stupid story you will never remember the details of but will ache for when it is gone. I would trade every promotion I ever received for one more Tuesday like that, every single one. The titles, the raises, the handshakes from men whose faces I have already forgotten. Give me the garlic, give me the homework on the table, give me the boy who cannot finish his story. You cannot earn that back. You cannot negotiate for it. There is no performance review that returns a family to your dinner table. I learned this at 63, in a one-bedroom apartment, eating over the sink. You are learning it right now, and you are younger than me, which means you still have Tuesday nights left. Do not waste them in a conference room. The conference room will forget you. The kitchen table never will. There is a clock on my wall. Small, round, nothing special. Came with the apartment. I stare at it most nights. Not because I need to know the time, but because it reminds me of something I cannot outrun. Every tick is a dinner you did not show up to. Every tick is a phone call you sent to voicemail. Every tick is your kid standing at the window, watching the driveway, waiting for headlights that never came. You do not get those ticks back. There is no overtime for life. No rollover minutes, no carryover policy. I am 63. My kids are grown. My wife is someone else's wife now. She laughs in a kitchen I have never seen with a man who probably does nothing special except show up. That is all she ever wanted, presence. Not a paycheck, not a promotion. Just a man in the chair across from her who chose to be there. I was not that man, and here is what haunts me. It was not one big decision, it was 1,000 small ones. 1,000 tiny not tonights. 1,000 I'll make it up to you. You do not destroy a family with a sledgehammer. You do it with a pocket knife. One small cut at a time, so small you do not even see the bleeding until the body goes cold. Your company will send a fruit basket when you die, generic, wrapped in cellophane, signed by someone who cannot spell your last name. Your family will send nothing, not because they are cruel, but because you already left them years ago, one late meeting at a time, one missed bedtime at a time. They buried you long before you stopped breathing. So here is what I need you to do. Not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. Go home, walk through the door, put the phone on the counter, sit down at the table, look at the people in front of you. And stay. That is it. No grand gesture, no flowers, no speech. Just stay, because one day that table will be empty. And you will be sitting in a one-bedroom apartment with a clock on the wall and a fruit basket you did not ask for. And you will hear the ticking, and it will not sound like seconds. It will sound like all the doors you should have walked through. If this hit you deep, somewhere you have been ignoring, do something about it. Share this with a man who needs to hear it. Leave a comment if you are the man in the parking garage right now. I do not need your name. I just need to know you heard me. Go home tonight, while there is still a home to go to.